Good afternoon, everyone. I am Joanne Besmonte, and my topic is all about phonological awareness. What is phonological awareness? Phonological awareness is a term used to describe the child's generic understanding that spoken words are made up of sounds. Phonological awareness is an individual awareness of the phonological structure or sound structure of words. Phonological awareness is a crucial skill to develop in children. It is strongly linked to early reading and spelling success through its association with phonics. It is a focus of literacy teaching, incorporating recognizing phonological patterns such as rhyme and alliteration. Phonological awareness is also an umbrella term that includes 4 development levels. These 4 development levels are word awareness, syllable awareness, onset rhyme awareness, and the last one is phonemic awareness. What is phonological sounds awareness? Phonological awareness, sometimes referred to as sounds awareness. It is awareness of what sounds are and how they come together to make words. Why is phonological sound awareness important? Phonological awareness is an important pre-literacy skill because if there are difficulties in this area, it can often lead to reading and writing difficulties. Children develop also a phonological awareness skills in a sequential pattern which as follows. The first one is the ability to hear rhymes and alliteration. Second, hearing words in spoken language and hearing syllables in spoken words and then being able to pluck out syllables. Hearing sounds and the beginning of words and then being able to produce words that begin with certain sound. And the last one is recognizing and identify rhyming words and then being able to produce rhyming words.
Good evening, Mrs. Marjorie Pebrero, and good evening to my classmate. For our topic today is about developing vocabulary and spelling skill in L1 and L2. Key terms. Number 1, developing. Improvement of some things. Number 2, vocabulary. The words in a language or a special set of words you are trying to learn. Number 3, spelling. The forming of words from letters according to accepted usage. Developing our vocabulary. How to develop our vocabulary? Number 1, use new words. Number 2, read every day. Number 3, learn roots. And number 4, learn new words every day. And number 5, look up words you don't know. Number 6, the word puzzles. Number 7, try board games. This is for elements of vocabulary skills. Number 1, listening. Number 2, speaking. Number 3, reading. Number 4, and writing. Importance of vocabulary. Vocabulary growth is directly related to school achievement. The size of a child's vocabulary in kindergarten predicts the ability to learn to read. Vocabulary helps children to think and learn about the world. Expanding a child's knowledge of the world provides unlimited access to new information. Example of vocabulary words: mendicant, people who live off begging; vapid, lacking significance; prosaic, lacking wit or imagination; wary, having gray of white hair; as with age; justin, correct by punishment or discipline. For our second topic is about developing our spelling skills. How to develop our spelling skills? Learn commonly misspelled words. Learn a few rules. Use mnemonics. Make a list of the word you have trouble spelling. And check word origin in the dictionary. Chunk it. Sound it out. Draw a picture. Play word game. Spelling skills: phonetics, phonological awareness, visual imagery and sequencing, and word patterns and secret rules. Importance of developing spelling skills. Our basic ability to communicate. 85% of people around the world are connected online and receive email, while 62% of them communicate through social media. Employment opportunities. Online job hunting and posting is growing exponentially. In the first impression, most employees will have with their employees is their resume or CV. Perceived trustworthiness. Tolerance for typos is low. Example of spelling that very hard: Cheros, Coris, Uchi, Muka, Gablet, Digok, Lugarhiya, Misspell, Paraho, Word, Intelligence, Pronunciation, and Handkerchief. For the last topic is third topic is L1 and L2. L1 primary native language. Student will receive the most benefits in learning new and difficult information. The use of student linguistic resources can be beneficial at all levels of ELL. The L1 is ever present in the minds of L2 learners. L2 seeking language. Students rarely want translation in the process of comprehending. Translation should not be looked at as a bad habit, but it should be looked at as an important developmental aspect of the L2 comprehension process. Hanggang dito na lang po at maraming salamat po.
What is word recognition? Word recognition refers to the ability to identify, read and analyze the meaning, attach the word. It is the basis foundations skills in reading upon which learning of advanced reading skills depends. Word recognition is a twofold process that includes the recognitions of printed symbols by some method so that the word can be pronounced and the attachment to or associations of meaning with the word after it has been properly pronounced. Teaching word recognition skills using word families will be much easier for the teachers. This can be done after all the sounds of the alphabet have been mastered. However, when you stumble on an unfamiliar word, you become aware of the individual letters that are grouped together to form a word. Word recognition strategies for pronunciations. When you read, you are intent on getting the message. You don't notice the individual letters, group of letters, or even every word. This is because you have become a fluent reader. Strategy 1. Phonic analysis and synthesis. Phonics is a decoding technique that is dependent on the student's ability to make the proper letter sounds correspondences. Analysis involves breaking down something into its components parts. Synthesis involves building up the parts of something into a whole. Strategy 2. Whole word or look-and-sar method. This method has the teacher or any other individuals directing your attentions to a word and then saying the word. You must make an associations between oral word and the written word and show this by actually saying the word. This is also called the sight method. Strategy 3. Structural analysis and synthesis word parts. It involves the breaking down of words into word parts in the building up of word parts such as prefixes, suffixes, roots, and combining forms. Structural analysis helps you figure out the pronunciations of unfamiliar word if the word is composed of familiar words, parts such as prefixes, suffixes, and roots. Strategy 4. Look up the pronunciations in the dictionary. This is useful, but you may not have a dictionary handy by the time you look up the pronunciations of the word. You may lose the trend of what you were reading. Strategy 5. Context clues. Context refers to the words surrounding a word that can shed light on its meaning. Context can be explained in the form of definitions, examples, comparisons, or contrasts, explanations, and so on, which can help us figure out words' meaning. We use context clues to help us gain the meaning of a word. What is vocabulary development? Vocabulary refers to the collections of words that a person knows and uses. Vocabulary development is the process of acquiring new words. That's why it's so important to focus on building vocabulary skills to reading instructions. The size of a child's vocabulary between preschools and first grade is often a strong indicator of their reading comprehensions in later grades. What is the importance of vocabulary development? Vocabulary improves all areas of communications like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Vocabulary is critical to a child's success for these reasons. Vocabulary growth is directly related to school achievements. The size of a child's vocabulary in kindergarten predicts the ability to learn to read. 4 types of vocabulary development. First is listening vocabulary, speaking vocabulary, reading vocabulary, and writing vocabulary. The first constitutes spoken vocabulary and the 2 written vocabulary. Children begin to acquire listening and speaking vocabularies many years before they start to build the reading and writing vocabularies. Spoken language forms the basis for written language. Each type has a different purpose, and luckily, vocabulary development in one facilitates growth in another. Listening vocabulary. The words we hear it understands starting in the womb. Fetuses can detect sounds as early as 16 weeks. Furthermore, babies are listening during all their waking hours and continue to learn new words this way all of our lives. By the time we reach adulthood, most of us will recognize and understand close to 50,000 words. Children who are completely deaf do not get exposed to listening vocabulary. Instead, if they have signing models at home or school, they will expose to a visual listening vocabulary. The amount of words modeled is much less than a hearing child's incidental listening vocabulary. Speaking vocabulary. The words we use when we speak, our speaking vocabulary is relatively limited because adults use a mere 5,000 to 10,000 words for all their conversations and instructions. This number is much less than our listening vocabulary, most likely due to ease of use. Reading vocabulary. The words we understand when we read text, we can read and understand many words that we do not use in our speaking vocabulary. This is the second largest vocabulary if you are a reader. If you are not a reader, you cannot grow your vocabulary. Writing vocabulary. The words we can retrieve when we write express ourselves. We generally find it easier to explain ourselves orally using facial expressions and intonations to help get our ideas across than to find just the right words to communicate same ideas in writing. Our writing vocabulary was strongly influenced by the words we can spell.